A few weeks ago, a new Evil Twin Link monster got announced. It was Evil Twin Trouble Sunny. When I first read the card, I thought the card was insane, and I thought it made the live twins or evil twins so much better. However, after playtesting with the deck for quite some time, I think the deck is actually better than I initially thought it was, which is pretty crazy. The fact that this Link 4 is a boss monster that the archetype can finally end on that does something is absolutely insane. It opens up new cards in the archetype that were initially never be able to be used. Like, it's not that the effects weren't good, it was the restrictions that were placed on it, such as live twin home. That restriction that you can only special summon evil twin monsters from your extra deck was huge, and it basically made it so the card could never get played. At least with Kiskilla and Lolola, the restrictions to only summon fiends from your extra deck, you could still make Unchained Abomination. However, now that they have that new boss monster Link 4, it makes the deck so much better. Live Twin Home is finally usable, and it changes how the deck can play. I honestly, after testing this deck against the current meta and the future meta in Burst of Destiny, I truly think this deck can be top tier and tier 1. I think what they do at a fundamental level is so basic, but how strong they are and the interactions they have are just insane. So I'll go over the deck list. We're playing 3 Kiskilla and 3 Lililla Live Twins. You're playing 2 Lililla Frost, or 2 Kiskilla Frost, and 1 Lililla Treat. This should be pretty obvious why you're playing both 3 of Lililla and Kiskilla, the originals. They're basically, if you control no other monsters and you normal special them, they just special them the other one from the deck. So it's full combo. It should be pretty obvious why we're maximizing on those. You're playing 2 Frost because Frost actually has a better graveyard effect than Treat. If your opponent adds a card from their deck to their hand, except by a card effect accepting the damage step, you just get to draw a card, which is insane because as you see, we're playing a lot of hand traps, and we have 3 Ash, 3 Droll, 3 Veiler, 3 Nibiru, 3 Imperm. So being able to draw cards on our opponent's turn basically means that we can open more ways to interrupt their turn. And you're playing 1 Treat. The only reason you're not playing more of this because the effect to increase attack really isn't that great. Other monsters, you special summon Kiskilla or Lilula. So if I start with Kiskilla and activate Dropless to summon that, I can summon Lilula, and Lilula will summon a different copy of Kiskilla from my deck, and then that's just full combo. That's such a strong interaction that I didn't realize until I actually started playing with the deck. I didn't even think that I could do that, and then when I actually got to do that in a match, I was like, this is awesome. So the next 3 cards are just really strong. One of Monster Reborn. It has a really nice interaction with Trouble Sunny because Trouble Sunny doesn't even have to be Link summoned in order to use its effect. It just has to be on the field. So if you just top deck it, you just get the free Trouble Sunny from your graveyard. Should be both of those, and then you summon the Link Kiskilla and Lilula, and you just get a free draw and a pop. That's insane. This card just gets so sacky. And then using this, there are some fields where you can end on Abomination with Kiskilla or with Abomination and the Link 4, and then you tag on your opponent's turn to summon Kiskilla and Lilula, and you get a pop, just an extra card. You get to pop 2 cards, which is awesome. I just like destroying cards for free on my opponent's field. That's really nice. Called by the Grave, it's really nice because if your opponent tries to hit one of your searchers and you really need that search to go through, you just stop it. It's self-explanatory. It's just really strong. And when Upstart, playing 39 cards is really cool. Not too big a fan of most of the pot cards in this deck. This deck isn't a blowout deck. It's not an OTK deck, and it's not a build-a-board where it's you just end on so many negates. It's more of a really resourceful, intensive deck. So it's I wasn't a big fan of Desires, and same thing with Extravagance and Prosperity. This deck is already really, really consistent, and I didn't banishing cards from my extra deck. You don't make most of them in the extra deck. Some of them are I don't think I've ever used a few of them. Some of them I did use, but I just would rather keep them in my extra deck. And then Evil Twin Challenge, this is really good if you get Nibiru'd. If you get Nibiru'd, you can still make a play during your opponent's turn and then summon Lilula. And you summon Kiskilla, which will bring back the Lilula Link from your graveyard, and then you just pop a card. At the worst case scenario, you can do that, but it's really just against Nibiru. Don't know how much, it only came up with Nibiru, so I don't know if I want to keep it in the deck, but I might replace it for a Lightning Storm or a Feather Duster, because back row was one of the things that this deck kind of did struggle against, because we have no back row removal, tons of monster and combo, we have tons of cards to deal with monster effects and combo cards, but not a lot to deal with back row, so I may just replace it with Feather Duster or Lightning Storm. And then, the 3 Imperm, like I said. Overall, I really like the main deck. I don't think I change it other than the challenge, but yeah, we just have 15 starter cards, we have 15 hand traps, and then we just have 3 droplet for our opponent's turn, and we just have other really strong cards. So for extra deck, you have 3 Evil Twin Trouble Sunny, amazing card, it's why the deck is good. You have 3 Kiskilla and 3 Lilula. Some people only play 2 of each. However, you probably could get away with it, but I just put in 3 because like the extra deck has so much space. Like you can like really the only ones that you need are the 3 of the evil twins, the link monsters, Abomination and Unicorn. Like the other 4 after that, I didn't really need them because like I just had so many ways to pop my opponent's stuff with like Abomination. I had the Nightmare Unicorn for the spin, and then I always popped card with the Lula. The reason why I'm playing 3 Lula and 3 Kiskilla is because, especially against Tri-Brigade, when I was playtesting against them, they kept banishing my Lula because it's like they don't really care if I draw for Kiskilla. Lula is way more important because that actually pops a card on their field. So they banished both of my Lululas, and because I had the 3rd one left on my deck, I was actually able to keep playing. So what I'll say is there are games where it's like you won't miss Lulula, like you won't miss having like there will be games where you only have 2 and you won't miss that. However, the games where you miss that 3rd Lulula, you're really gonna miss it. It'll probably cost you the game. So yeah, this deck, as I said, this deck is performing really well. I've tested it against the current meta and like the future meta, like Burst of Destiny against the Zhang Jin and the Flunderies, and this deck performed really well. Like the only issue this deck has is back row, but like I think the main deck can be changed to where you can use like Feather Duster or Lightning Storm in order to compensate for that weakness. But yeah, like I wasn't expecting this deck to be as good as it was. Like, and I do truly think this deck will be tier 1 because it does what Tri-Brigade wants to do, but better. Like Shrike, they're just summoning Shrike on your turn and banishing 1 card. Well, guess what this deck is doing? It's popping a card on your turn and popping a card on their turn, so you get 2 pops. And then if you have the one in the graveyard effect is so good. I didn't realize it until I actually started playing. By sending an evil twin monster on your field to the graveyard, you get to banish a card, and then because both of them have effects to bring back the other ones, during your turn what you can do is you have Kiskilla and Lulilla, you send Lulilla to the graveyard with the evil twin Trouble Sunny's graveyard effect, banish the card, and then Kiskilla will bring back the Lulilla, pop another card, and then make the link 4 again. Like that is such an insane interaction that I didn't even realize until I started playing the deck. So I truly do believe this deck can be meta. Obviously, it's hard to tell because we won't get these cards some months later, so we have no idea how the meta will shift up. But if the meta stays the same as it is right now, I believe this deck can truly be tier 1, one of the best decks of the format.